If you do anything wrong in your life, and I find out about it, I'm gonna try to take everything away from you. And I don't care when I find out. Could be today, tomorrow, 15, 20 years from now. If I find out, you're fucking finished. Who's that? That's you.
So I did not want to go back and forth with Katt Williams like that. That bothered me so bad. That really bothered me.
It was a setup.
Right.
And remember, they tried to kill me this same weekend. Not in jokes. With a real gun in my real face on real camera. Understand I'm losing my life.
The exclusive security video from the Atlanta Comedy Theater in Gwinnett County. You can see Wanda Smith and her husband by the front door. Watch as Katt Williams.
If you've been on social media this week, you've probably seen the drama around Katt Williams blowing up again. People are trying to cancel him over some old clip with the late talk show host Wanda Smith. You know, the one where Katt roasted her on her own show?
I do a really nice broccoli. They like my broccoli and they love my baked chicken.
Hey, right now, look up your phone and see what it takes to make broccoli and tell me he doesn't say heat up water. That's the only step in broccoli. Heat up water.
Simmer.
Have you ever heard of burned broccoli? Can you burn broccoli?
What if I told you one of the most explosive moments in comedy history almost cost someone their life? A resurfaced clip of Katt Williams roasting Wanda Smith has the internet in a frenzy, calling for apologies, dragging legacies, and questioning cancel culture like never before. But here's the twist. This wasn't just jokes. According to Katt, someone came at him with a gun. And now, years later, people are still arguing. Should he apologize? Or did social media blow everything way out of proportion? Stay tuned, because what really went down behind the scenes will shock you. An exclusive security recording from the Atlanta Comedy Theater in Gwinnett County shows Wanda Smith standing near the entrance alongside her husband. Moments later, Katt Williams appears on the scene. If you've spent any time scrolling through social media this week, you've likely stumbled across the renewed controversy surrounding him. The internet is buzzing once again, with people attempting to cancel Williams over a resurfaced clip involving the late talk show host Wanda Smith, the infamous exchange where Katt roasted her live on her own program.
I shouldn't have, honestly. Some of these things are the reason that the enemy decides to go ahead and let you be famous, is your ability to tear down your own kind, no matter how high they are.
Now, some voices online are claiming that Katt Williams single-handedly derailed the career Wanda Smith had spent decades building. Critics are calling him out harshly, labeling him a POS for the way he handled her on air. The backlash comes shortly after Williams issued a public apology for mocking Michael Jackson in an old comedy special, fueling demands from fans that he also apologize to Wanda's family. But here's where things take a turn. Not everyone agrees with that narrative. Dave Chappelle has stepped in to defend Williams, arguing that the entire exchange with Wanda was just comedy in its rawest form. According to Chappelle, Katt was simply doing what is always done, firing back when someone tries to challenge him. He also criticized the culture of digging into someone's past, searching for reasons to cancel them over incidents that happened years ago. So the real question becomes, what actually unfolded between Katt and Wanda? Why is that old interview suddenly resurfacing now? And why does Chappelle believe the cancel crowd is once again blowing things out of proportion?
This might be the noblest of professions. Robin Williams had a bar that I loved. He said comedy is the only job you can have where you can use everything you know. And that's true. You can use more than you know. You can use what you think. Use it. Don't be afraid. Don't let these bitch-ass niggas button your lip. Say it anyway.
In case you haven't caught up, Katt Williams recently issued a public apology to Michael Jackson's family, admitting that he regrets the jokes he once made about the pop icon in his stand-up specials. Looking back, Katt explained that he now sees those moments differently. At the time, he thought it was just comedy. But in hindsight, he believes there was a bigger agenda at play. According to him, the very people who handed him the stage and signed his checks were pushing a narrative, encouraging black men to tear one another down for entertainment.
Wherever you at under the sound
Because
of my
she's
voice,
real.
do you have a real co-worker?
Right.
Do you have a ratchet friend? Do you have a sister? Do you have a cousin? Do you have a nephew? Do you have a niece? Is they so ghetto? When did that become marketable? Knock it off. They like her because she want to sleep with a white man. That's why the only thing she said was, I want to give it to Brad Pitt. The only thing before that in the movie with me is I slept with this white man and I got a white baby. She had a white husband for the 14 years she been doing comedy, and then all of a sudden divorced him, then said he abused her, then wrote a book, then said he didn't, and then now we're at Brad Pitt. So hey, you can say whatever you want. She said she got a disease for JJ. Don't nobody check for that. I support Linnell, Melanie Camacho, Miss Laura, all the people that got skipped over in the list between now and then. It's no shade to nobody. We are in the only business where, as a black woman, what you look like is not supposed to be held against you. And time again, they show you that you can be sidetracked by anything light-skinned.
Now, the vibe between Katt and Wanda was already awkward by that point, but it got even messier when Wanda tried to throw some shade with a random question about Katt's cooking skills for his kids. And Katt didn't hold back. He started firing off one verbal smackdown after another.
That's dope. You cook? Do you cook for your kids?
Absolutely.
Tell me some of the things you cook that they're proud of. Like, Dad made some. You got the best spaghetti. You got the best steak. What do you have? Say, what do they like?
Just because you're a poor interviewer doesn't mean...
You answer the question and just tell me.
Man, you're a strong black woman. Is it okay for me to answer?
Come on.
You keep interrupting the answer. Everyone can hear it. It sounds like you like me a little bit. It's starting to bleed over the airwaves.
That apology was all it took for social media to erupt once again, this time branding Katt Williams a hypocrite. Many argued that if he's apologizing to Michael Jackson's family, then he owes apologies to plenty of others too, including the late Wanda Smith. One frustrated user posted, Katt Williams is a POS for what he did to Wanda Smith. F him. Another recalled, I remember when Katt went in on Wanda, and the whole city of Atlanta laughed along with him. It was hilarious at the time, but Katt crosses the line too often. Now Wanda's gone, and suddenly everybody in Atlanta is pretending they had her back. Please. I'd haunt you lames. But not everyone is piling on. A large group of fans is rallying behind Katt, and leading the charge is Dave Chappelle. Chappelle even drew a parallel to his own controversies, pointing out the backlash he faced over trans jokes. In his view, comedy is supposed to be the last refuge for free expression, and silencing comedians for doing what they do best undermines the entire art form.
I have 3 boys.
Excellent.
Yes, I do.
Aren't boys simple?
Hmm?
Aren't boys simple?
They can be. They can be.
Wanda knows she
I'm what?
She didn't do as much cooking in the latter years as she did in the beginning.
Whatever. I cook. I do it all.
I didn't say that you
Well,
didn't.
that's all right. I did it in the beginning and the middle and the end.
What's your favorite thing to cook? Your boys, yeah.
They like for me to, I do a really nice broccoli. They like my broccoli and they love my baked chicken.
Hey, right now, look up your phone and see what it takes to make broccoli, and tell me it doesn't say heat up water.
But this whole debate isn't just about cancel culture. There's another layer to the Katt and Wanda saga that rarely gets the spotlight. According to Katt, the feud went far beyond jokes. He even alleged that Wanda and her husband tried to physically go after him over what happened on air. To understand how it all escalated, we've got to rewind to September 2018. Katt Williams and fellow comedian Red Grant stopped by Frank and Wanda in the morning while Red was promoting a run of Atlanta shows. What should have been a light-hearted, 20-minute chat quickly spiraled into what became V103's most watched interview ever. And it's not hard to see why. The conversation started casually, but when Wanda tried throwing shade, Katt flipped the script and turned the interview into an all-out roast. Things heated up fast. Katt shifted the discussion toward Tiffany Haddish, questioning how she managed to land a Netflix deal without ever doing a national comedy tour. He pushed further, claiming most people couldn't even recall a single original joke she had written. Then Katt broadened the conversation into something deeper, the industry's treatment of black female comedians. He argued that highly talented women in the field are often ignored by major media outlets, while Tiffany, who, in his view, hadn't earned her stripes, was elevated as the face of comedy. The reason, he claimed, was simple. She was the safe choice, handpicked by executives to appeal to white audiences. That's when Wanda jumped in to defend Tiffany, insisting her rise was authentic because she's real. But Katt shut that down quickly, firing back that Tiffany's success came from two things: her constant jokes about dating white men and her lighter skin tone.
Telling us about what's going on in jail.
Yes, ma'am, and getting out to tell you.
Station viewer 3, your hair is kind of...
That joint was...
My hair is 19 inches long and I have no perm.
You don't?
Oops.
Oh, that's not a perm.
No, it is not. Nice lady.
That's natural?
Come run one of your gnarled fingers.
Come here.
While you on air.
Come
so
on.
they can hear you live.
Come on. Let me come over here.
No. That's not how that works.
Oh, okay. Well, then stay over there.
Don't worry. Ain't nobody putting their hands through yours.
That's right. They don't have to. I don't want them to. Get on out of here. You okay? You okay?
Only one of our hairs moving while we talk.
Are you all right this morning?
By that stage, the energy between Katt and Wanda had already turned tense, but things went completely off the rails when Wanda suddenly tried to jab at him with a random question about whether he ever cooked for his kids. That's all Katt needed to light the fuse. Without missing a beat, he unleashed a series of razor-sharp comebacks, each one landing harder than the last. What started as playful banter quickly morphed into a full-on verbal takedown, with Katt refusing to let a single slight slide.
Get this inmate out of here.
If you can't get your blood pressure down, you can't call me that.
Whatever, little mama.
If your cholesterol is 600.
Whatever, little mama.
I'm little mama's baby daddy.
No, you little mama.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
and what are you, girl? You probably shouldn't talk about sizes.
No, that's okay.
You big on the radio.
That's right. And you're big
Turn
in
it
prison.
down.
And you're
yes,
big
ma'am.
in prison.
I've never been to prison.
You have
19
several
felonies,
times.
no convictions.
Yeah,
Knock it off. Prison and jail aren't the same. No.
Okay.
No.
For a split second, it looked like the storm had passed. Katt and Wanda even shared a laugh, and the tension seemed to ease. But the calm didn't last long. Out of nowhere, Katt threw in a curveball, shifting the spotlight onto Wanda's kids. In an instant, the interview stopped feeling like a radio segment and transformed into a full-on comedy performance, with Katt roasting his way through the room while Wanda scrambled to keep up.
Just want to talk to you because you just won an Emmy for the city of Atlanta, and this is in Atlanta, and they just want to hear about the Emmy and hear from you and to thank you for what you did putting the city on.
Right. Okay.
And we won't talk about your kids. We won't talk about jail, no cases. We ain't going to talk about none of that.
Right.
And immediately gets in there and goes the opposite way. You can't flip up on me because you're an inferior comedian. I'm going to destroy you, and I'm never going to call you out of your name. I'm never going to say anything disrespectful to people that look like you. It's a very thin line I gotta call, but this lady is trying to embarrass me.
At first, Wanda tried to play it cool. She laughed along, but it was clear her smile was covering up real frustration. Determined to turn the tables, she brought up Katt's past legal troubles and even took a jab at his hair. But instead of rattling him, the tactic completely backfired, giving Katt even more fuel to turn the roast into overdrive. By the close of the interview, Wanda just couldn't resist tossing one more jab, this time at Katt's hair. She called him Lil Mama and even hinted at his sexuality. But Katt wasted no time shutting that down with a sharp comeback. The moment was brutal to watch, Wanda being outshined and humiliated on her very own show, while Katt controlled the room with ease. But then the situation shifted from comedy to chaos. Wanda couldn't brush off the humiliation, and things spiraled until it reached a dangerous point. Reports say she allegedly sent her husband and son to confront Katt. It all unfolded on September 15, 2018, outside the Atlanta Comedy Theater, where Wanda was hosting a comedy night. In the parking lot, her husband, Lamorris, showed up, and according to Katt, he pulled a weapon. Security footage captured the tense moments between Katt and Wanda just before Lamorris arrived and began chasing him. The scene got messy fast. Police later confirmed that Lamorris admitted to chasing Katt, but he denied ever brandishing the gun. Instead, he claimed he only dropped it while running. Wanda offered her own version of events days later on her radio show, saying Katt had shown up just to clown her for no reason, and her husband was only stepping in to defend her. But then came the twist. TMZ released security footage that appeared to show Lamorris holding a gun and pursuing Katt into a nearby grocery store. To be fair, the video never showed him pointing the weapon directly at Katt, and Lamorris insisted he wasn't trying to shoot anyone. But the controversy didn't end there. Fast forward to January 2019. Wanda was abruptly fired from V103 Atlanta. No official explanation was ever given, but speculation exploded. Many pointed back to the infamous Lil Mama comments, suggesting Wanda had used the wrong moment and the wrong opponent to try to score points on air. Using gay as an insult didn't sit well with many, especially in Atlanta, a city with one of the largest black LGBTQ communities. That misstep likely did standing. As for Katt, he stayed silent about her firing at the time and didn't speak publicly on the matter for years. It wasn't until January 2024, during an interview on Club Shay, that Katt finally unpacked his side of the story. He claimed the clash with Wanda didn't start in the studio. It started before the mics were even on. According to Katt, Wanda had promised she wouldn't bring up his kids or his legal troubles. But as soon as he shifted the conversation toward Tiffany Haddish, she immediately did the opposite, dragging his children and his time in jail into the discussion. From there, he said, the interview spiraled out of control. Katt went further, claiming that Wanda's aim was to publicly humiliate him in front of her predominantly gay fan base. He argues that this is the real reason she lost her platform and eventually faded from the spotlight. Using gay as an insult in front of a community I don't even belong to, it's not just wrong, it's disrespectful, Katt explained. There are no gay people saying I belong there, and I have no ill will toward them. But to try to shame me with that? That's unacceptable. You did a number on it, and honestly, it was legendary, but in the worst way. Katt also addressed the terrifying encounter with Wanda's husband, insisting it felt like a deliberate setup. This wasn't jokes afterward. This was real. They tried to take me out. Real gun, real camera, real threat to my life. All over a joke, he said. I was literally risking my life just for participating in that interview. Katt reflected on the whole situation, pointing out how absurd it was. This all happened while I was just doing my job as a comedian. 2 comedians, that's it. And the world was fine with it because it was me. Had that happened to anyone else? Look at the chaos when Will slapped Chris. But here, someone pulled a gun on a comedian in the workplace. It's wild. The level of hate, it's just unbelievable. Fast forward to October 2024, and Wanda tragically passed away just one day after celebrating her 58th birthday. Katt didn't make any public statements or condolences. Fans were split. Some felt he made the right call, knowing that any public comment might have been twisted into hypocrisy. Others wondered whether he had privately reached out to her family. Now, once again, social media is buzzing, this time digging deep into an old controversy involving Katt Williams and the late Wanda Smith. Even years later, people are trying to cancel Katt over a situation that escalated far beyond the realm of a simple joke, a moment that, according to Katt himself, almost cost him his life. When you think about it, this really highlights the dangerous extremes of cancel culture, which Dave Chappelle has long warned about. Chappelle has repeatedly pointed out that comedy is one of the few spaces where people can explore ideas, challenge societal norms, and even push boundaries without being immediately silenced or vilified. But in today's climate, one old clip, one resurfaced moment, or one misunderstood comment can ignite a social media firestorm that threatens careers, reputations, and sometimes, mental health. What makes this particular case even more striking is the context behind the drama. The exchange between Katt and Wanda Smith wasn't just a casual interview, it was an intense, unfiltered back-and-forth that quickly escalated. Katt, known for his fearless and often provocative style, turned what was supposed to be a light-hearted conversation into a comedic roast that exposed industry hypocrisies, poked fun at celebrity culture, and called out what he saw as unfair treatment of talented black female comedians. Wanda, understandably, pushed back in the moment, and the tension escalated to a point that would shock anyone, not just for the on-air chaos, but for what allegedly followed afterward in real life. Katt has claimed that Wanda's husband confronted him with a weapon, creating a life-threatening situation that could have ended tragically. That's the reality behind this incident. It wasn't just jokes and laughs, it was a confrontation that had serious consequences for everyone involved. Fast forward to today, and the conversation online seems disconnected from that reality. Social media users are often quick to judge based on short clips, sound bites, or viral moments, sometimes stripping away the full story. In this case, many critics are labeling Katt a hypocrite or claiming he owes Wanda Smith's family an apology, drawing parallels to his previous apologies for jokes about Michael Jackson. But it's worth pausing and asking, should we really measure someone's actions against a single moment without understanding the broader context? Katt's side of the story, revealed years later during interviews, explains that the incident was far more complicated than a simple joke gone wrong. There were promises made before the interview, sensitive topics that were brought up unexpectedly, and, According to Katt, a near-life-threatening encounter with Wanda's husband. All of these factors suggest that judging him without considering the whole narrative is, at the very least, an oversimplification. This situation also raises a larger question about how society treats comedy today. Comedy has always been about testing boundaries, poking fun at societal norms, and addressing uncomfortable truths in a way that invites reflection through laughter. The problem arises when moments from the past are weaponized in the present, detached from their original context. As Dave Chappelle has consistently argued, this culture of digging into someone's history and demanding instant accountability for decades-old actions can create a chilling effect. Comedians may feel constrained, unable to speak freely, and forced to censor themselves for fear that a future clip might be used to cancel them. The Katt Williams or Wanda Smith incident exemplifies this tension perfectly. What started as a comedic roast escalated to real-world conflict, and yet years later, online communities focus on the most viral soundbites while overlooking the gravity of the real-life consequences. So, when you step back and examine it, this isn't just a story about Katt Williams or Wanda Smith, it's a snapshot of a larger cultural issue. It's a moment that forces us to ask uncomfortable questions. How do we balance accountability with understanding context? How much should we allow past mistakes, misunderstandings, or conflicts to define someone's present and future? And, perhaps most importantly, where do we draw the line between holding people accountable and punishing them for doing their job, or even surviving a dangerous situation? Katt's experience shows how quickly humor, misinterpretation, and social media outrage can collide, creating consequences that ripple far beyond the original moment. At the same time, it's worth reflecting on the human side of these stories. Both Katt and Wanda were individuals navigating a complex industry, with its own pressures, expectations, and egos. Both made choices under stress, and both faced intense scrutiny. Social media makes it easy to reduce these nuanced human experiences into a simple debate of right versus wrong, but the reality is far more layered. Katt's decision not to publicly comment on Wanda's passing, for example, has been criticized by some and defended by others. Some argue that staying silent prevented further misinterpretation or accusations of hypocrisy, while others wish he had acknowledged the loss more openly. Either way, it underscores how complicated it is to navigate public perception in the digital age. So here's the question for you, the viewer. Considering everything we know about what happened between Katt Williams and the late Wanda Smith, what's your take? Should Katt apologize the same way he did for his Michael Jackson jokes? Or are critics overreaching, trying to cancel someone for a situation where he nearly lost his life and has already shared his side of the story? This isn't just about assigning blame, it's about understanding context, evaluating intentions, and thinking critically about the culture of outrage that dominates online spaces. Your perspective matters, and this is exactly the type of conversation that can help shift the narrative from mindless cancel culture to thoughtful discussion. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Share your opinion about whether Katt owes an apology, whether cancel culture is going too far, or whether comedy should be given more breathing room in today's highly scrutinized world. Reflect on the balance between accountability and understanding, and consider how incidents like this shape the way we consume, judge, and react to entertainment. In the end, the story of Katt Williams and Wanda Smith is more than just a viral moment. It's a reflection of how comedy, culture, and social media intersect in ways that can be both hilarious and dangerously consequential. And that's the story. Let me know how you feel about everything that went down. And I'll catch you in the next video to continue unpacking moments like this in the world of comedy, culture, and controversy.